And then there's this teacher who is, he looks at me and he's like, Wewe. Oh, he called me by my second name. Hi guys, how are you? I hope you're fine. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In case you're new here, karibu sana. In case you're a returning subscriber, welcome again and thank you for your continued support. On today's video, I'm going to talk about something that I've been reading over the weekend. I've been reading a book that is known as The Untethered Soul. That is it. I don't know how you see it because it's in selfie mode. It's authored by someone known as Michael Singer. And there's one chapter I read and I feel like it's related to what exactly I wanted to talk about. And that chapter is called The Path to Unconditional Happiness. And it got me thinking, how many times are we happy, or how many times do you sit down and say, I'm happy and I'm genuinely happy? And just like the author says, happiness is a choice that you have to make. And in life, most of the times, you're not guaranteed that all seasons will be good, all seasons will be filled with joy. No, there are many seasons that will be filled with sorrow. There are seasons that will be difficult. There are seasons that will test your faith. And in the midst of all the seasons of life, whether the sunny, the rainy, the summer, the winter, in all the seasons of life, one thing is constant. That is on the choice to be happy. And there's something I renoted that the author wrote. One fact that you have to understand is that you were born and you're going to die. And during the time in between, that is between the time you were born and the time that you will die, you get to choose whether or not you want to enjoy the experience. So basically, life is our life on earth is just a slice that we get to taste of life, because the real thing is that whether we are existing, whether we are not existing, life continues. Whether you're there, whether you're not there, the thing is that life will continue. So the moment between your birth and your death, that is what you get to taste of life. That is a gift. It's an experience that you get to live, and it just, you live once literally. And in between your birth and death, you can choose to live fully, or you can choose to let the events that happen in your life rob you of the joy, rob you of the opportunity to live fully. And events are not supposed to determine your happiness. Don't let a certain event that happens rob you of your joy. Just because you wanted this to happen and it didn't happen, then that determines whether you're happy or you're not. No, if you constantly rely on the life events to determine your happiness, most of the times you'll find that you will not be happy and you will not live fully. In this series of intentional living, I would like to highlight that happiness is a choice you get to make. And whether you're sad, whether the seasons are tempting, if you choose to let the circumstances determine your happiness, you're going to miss out on what is actually happening. And the author says that enjoying life experiences is the only rational thing to do, because you're literally sitting on a planet that is spinning around in the middle of absolutely nowhere. And the key to staying happy is by starting to understand your inner energies. Just like author says, that happiness is a choice. It's something that you derive from within. It's a choice that you just decide, I'm going to be happy. It doesn't matter who did what to you. It doesn't matter whether your business failed. It doesn't matter whether you lost people. It doesn't matter whether people failed you, they didn't keep your word, they didn't keep your promises. It doesn't matter whether your dreams didn't actualize. It doesn't matter whether whatever you were hoping would happen didn't happen. It doesn't matter whether you fell ill. It doesn't matter whether your business collapsed or anything. Those are just events that happen in the middle of your lifetime. And if you let them determine your happiness, you're going to miss out on actual living and on intentional living. On this series, which I've been doing on the intentional living, basically it's to provoke you to live in the moment, live presently. I think most of the times you're so caught up in the events and experiences that are happening in our daily lives that we forget to live in the present. By living in the present, it means like if you're doing something, for example, if you're watching this video, your mind is present there. You're present to my actions, you're present to my words, your brain is there, you're literally there. Because most of the times you'll find we're basically doing something, but we're rushing to do life that we forget to live. For example, you might be traveling, but your mind is not actually there. You're somewhere, you're thinking about how you'll get home, do your laundry, cook. Alternatively, another example is that you could be speaking with someone, but your mind is far away. You might be what else? You might be reading something, or you might be watching something, but then you're texting, like you're trying to multitask and juggle things. That means that your full attention is not there. And when your full attention is not there, you're not really present at that moment. So most of the times you're really thinking about the next thing that you're supposed to do. In Stoicism, what really happens, you're provoked to think about whatever you're doing. Immerse yourself fully into what you're doing. Be present there 100%. If you're reading, be present there. If you're watching the moon, the sky, tune in your thoughts to 100% to whatever you're watching. Like, be fully present there. Because as Stoicism says in Memento Mori, that remember that you will die, memento mori, memento vivere. Remember that you will die, and so you must live. By living, Stoicism provokes you to enjoy the present moment where it's still there, because most of the times it just happens naturally. We keep thinking about a future. We're always planning about a future that we're not even sure of. We're constantly thinking, when I grow up, or in 10 years time, I'll be this and this and this. Do not mistake me by saying that you're not supposed to be ambitious and draw goals. No, what I mean is that most of the times we get lost thinking about a future that we're not even sure about, that we forget to live the present. And what really amazes me is that so for example, let me provoke you to think about something. Think about the present moment and think about 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, do you imagine that 10 years ago you were dreaming that in 10 years this is what I want to become? But surprisingly, even today you may still be thinking about in 5 years this is what I want to become. So today is the future that you are looking forward to. And if you're not going to live today as though it's that future you are looking forward to, then you will miss out on this experience called life. For everyone watching here, I'm quite sure in 100 years of time we will not be here. We'll have to we'll of course be away for another generation to occupy this planet, so we'll be gone. So if at all you keep looking forward to a future, and that future blinds you, or rather prevents you from living fully into the present, then you're going to miss out on what exactly life is, and you're going to miss out on literally the present. So this is to provoke you. Choose happiness regardless of what happens. And with happiness, when you aren't happy, your heart closes and no energy comes in. When you're happy, your heart opens to other people. Have you ever met people who are always happy, like they're literally happy? Not the faking one, not faking happiness, but genuinely happy. There's that energy that emanates from within. Whenever you're in their presence, you can't help but feel that energy. They're just a vibe. They're just happy genuinely, not because they don't have problems in their life, not because they do not face challenges, but it's because they have decided and they have chosen, regardless of the challenges, regardless of all the difficulties that life might present. I am going to choose happiness. I'm going to look at life and say, life, it doesn't matter what the storms that you bring up to me, it doesn't matter how much you test me, I am going to choose to be happy. And one thing about happiness is that it is contagious. If you sit in the midst of people who are always happy, trust you me, you're going to soak in their energy, you're going to absorb that happiness energy, and you'll find yourself being happy. On the contrary, if you sit amongst people who are always grumpy, they're these people where they're always like all the time complaining, oh, this is not working, and you're like, no, you're going to absorb. Okay, in my case, I'm always very happy, or literally I'm not flossing, but well, I'm always very happy. I am, let's say, I just decide to choose happiness. I think it's just something I've grown up with, choosing happiness over all that happens. And I always avoid sitting with people who are always complaining, or rather people who are always grumpy. It's always a turn off, like literally, because you find that most people who are always happy will admit with this, or will admit and agree with this. When you sit in the midst of people who are grumpy, there's a way you're going to absorb that energy, and it's going to really put you in a bad mood, literally. So the more you sit with people who are grumpy, even without your conscience, or rather without even knowing it, you might slowly absorb that energy. You sit with people who are always complaining, and yeah, like you'll just feel so low. So it's okay if you're a person who has chosen happiness. It's okay if you get to choose happiness all the time, but even if that means staying away from people who are always complaining, even if that means spending quite plenty of time with yourself just to refill your cup, it's okay to choose to be happy. So I don't want this video to be quite long, because basically it's on the path to unconditional happiness. Happiness is a choice that you have to choose, and I think life is easier when you choose to be happy. It's not that you will be you'll be protected from any challenges, any difficulties. No, the challenges will be there, the difficulties will be there, life will test you to the core. In fact, when you're happy, actually people will try to test your waters. There are people who basically will try to dim your light. If you're this bubbly person, they try to make you like literally go mad, like go crazy, try to provoke you so that you may get bitter, so that you may get rid of that happiness that you can. There are people who really can't stand up how happy that you are, like literally. I remember the other day I was sharing with a close friend about an experience I had. I think I was in primary school, yeah, around kitu class 5, class 6 thereabout, or class 7. So in our primary school, we really used to be caned, whether it's a question you have failed, whether it's what. I don't remember what exactly we had done. I think it's a question we had failed in exams. So at that time, we were going to the staff room to be caned. So I remember in my when it was my turn, I was caned. So when I was coming out of the staff room, of course there are other teachers. There's this teacher who canes you, and then there are teachers, they are just seated doing their business. I remember I was caned, and then I came out smiling. Okay, that was always my nature, and I'm always very smiley. But then the issue was so mimi hapo nimechapwa, and then mimi natoka kwa mlango. So me here coming, and then there's this teacher who is he looks at me and he's like, wewe, he called me by my second name, wewe, let me just use purity, wewe umechapwa na mbona bado una smile, like you've been caned and why are you still smiling? And then that teacher had to tell the teacher to cane me again because literally I'm smiling. So like imagine, like why it was my choice. I chose to be caned and still smile. That doesn't mean I didn't feel the pain. That just means that, okay, you've caned me, but I've chosen to be happy. So I was caned again, and since I didn't want to be caned again, I still had to fake I'm sad, but then I got out of the staff room and smiled. So so basically, life will not be easy, but choose happiness regardless. Life is a journey. It's a short time from the time you were born until the time you will die, and in there between, live happily, be present, enjoy it as it comes. So I'm going to wrap it there. Thank you for watching up until now, and in case you're new, kindly remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Yeah, so until next time, my name is Purity, and this is a Ms.Matheri show.